So this is something that everyone's talking about on social media because it's a big deal. Sony has recently announced that they're ending physical disc production for their video games starting in 2028. And the reason that this is big news is because it's definitely going to affect the landscape of gaming for better or for worse. Um, a lot of people within Sony probably feel like it's going to be for the better because it's going to make things a lot more convenient for consumers because they don't have to go through the hassle of having to go out of their way to purchase an $80 like video game that's brand new in stores. And I guess they don't have to worry about, lack of production because I'm pretty sure like manufacturing and production costs are like really, really expensive in this day and age. So just having digital only video games is something that's convenient for both consumers and for, I guess, Sony themselves. But at the same time, you're not going to really own those video games even if you buy them because when you think about it, when you purchase a video game, like when you purchase like a physical disc or physical video game, you pretty much own that disc because you bought it. Now, with something that's digital, you buy it online, and the thing is, even though like you bought it, it's like you really don't own it because it's a digital download. Because if you don't have the console that you purchased that game on, then you're not going to have the game itself. So in that sense, you don't really own the game for the most part. And I'm not exactly sure how people are going to end up, feeling about that when the PS6 comes out in the future. And it wouldn't shock me if the PS6 came out in 2018 because the fact that they're announcing this now gives everybody an idea on what to expect for the PlayStation 6. So it seems like for the PS6, we're not going to have any like physical like games or anything like that. Everything is just digital only. And I can only imagine what the price of the PlayStation 6 is going to be when it comes out. And and it's crazy to think that for over the past 30 years, um Sony has been producing like physical like video games dating all the way back to like 1994 with the PS1. We had the PS1, the PS2, the PS3, the PS4. PS5 is it, man. PS5 is the last generation of PlayStation consoles that we're going to have where you can actually buy physical video games. But at the same time, it's going to make, CDs and older video games and retro games even more popular, especially at these used video game stores where people, they sell pre-owned CDs and stuff like that. And, and yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure, like, how people are going to adjust to this once it becomes a thing. But at the same time, it does not surprise me that much that Sony is moving towards that direction of just digital only video games because I remember a while back, like years ago, um, Xbox had like I think there was like an executive in Xbox who had mentioned that they were focusing more on cloud-based gaming and more on a cloud-based ecosystem, which is um, which is completely like free of like physical like video games and stuff like that. And I'm not too sure about Nintendo. I mean, I haven't heard any rumors or anything like Nintendo possibly you know going towards having no disc or just moving towards cloud-based gaming or anything like that. But it's something that's possible. And honestly, there's a phrase that I've heard in the past about ownership, and it has something to do with the World Economic Forum. And basically it goes that by 2030 you'll own nothing and be happy. And lo and behold, we're close to 2030, and it seemed like we're moving more and more towards that direction. And the thing is, I'm not exactly sure whether or not, people are going to be happy or not, but it's going to make some of these upcoming video games that's going to come out between now and 2028. it's going to make those games have more value, especially like games like GTA 6 and Final Fantasy 7 Revolution and all these upcoming games. I mean, they're going to sell out like crazy. They're going to sell like hotcakes, and people are going to hold on to them. And after 2028, they're gonna resell them for like double of what they bought it for or triple of what they bought it for. So these games, these upcoming games, are going to have more value in the future. PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 and older generation PlayStation games are going to have more value as a result, because you look at PlayStation's online store. The only thing you can play now are PS5 games. You won't be able to play anything older than that. You won't be able to play PS4, PS3, or PS2 games on the PlayStation 5 unless Sony or some type of publisher decides to do a remake of an older game. So yeah, this is a really big deal, and it's something that's definitely going to have a significant impact on the landscape of gaming. I'm not exactly sure if it's something that's going to turn people off to, um, the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 6 or anything like that, but I do feel like Sony taking this direction in relation to future video games is something that's rather fascinating, and it's something that can only benefit them for the most part, because honestly, they don't have to spend as much in terms of manufacturing and creating physical hardware and physical media. So it's more convenient for them, and it's something that might not be as convenient for customers who are willing to buy games only to resell them, or for customers who are obsessed with like keeping the games that they buy. So yeah, I honestly feel like by the time the PlayStation 6 comes out, it's going to be a completely new era. And it's something that unfortunately a lot of people are going to have to accept.